Welcome to Hazardous Endeavors.
Woo!
Whoa! Yes, indeed. The 5th edition D&D actual play podcast brought to you by Digital and Dice. I am your host, the GM, Mark.
Wow.
Yay.
That was amazing. Very nice.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate you. And joining me today, of course, are the illustrious players. We have Wizard James.
Hello.
Playing Elliot Frostmoon. We have the Lady Crass.
Oh, hello.
Playing Lindo Espina, the beautiful Thorn. We have Voiceover Guy Brian.
Greetings and salutations.
Playing Wilf Tradewind. And, of course, we have the sound guy Steven.
Hello, all.
Playing Jaxom Shaw. And of course, if you're watching us live, you can see below the wonderful pixel art done by Desurian, an amazing pixel artist. You can find him on Roll20. A lot of really cool stuff out there.
I am awesome and adorable. And
Yes.
it's true.
And of course, if you're listening, make sure you hit up Desurian over at Desurian on Twitter to let them know that you appreciate their art for what they do. But let's go ahead and get down to it, shall we? Where we last left our intrepid adventurers. I believe there was the interference of some law enforcement in some late night shenanigans.
Oh, so we had a special mission. We had to go and
Get magical beer.
We found out that we could not find magical beer, but we found a magical amount of regular beer.
This is true. We did find a magical amount of regular beer.
Yeah, that is absolutely
And
true.
while we did rescue an angel,
Rescue an angel. I also let go a adorable kitty cat who turned into a demon. It must have been possessed.
That's one story for it, yeah.
I rode a dog,
Yes.
and then we got knocked out by our own tattoos.
Pretty much.
What?
So,
Oh, the tattoos, they made it so that they could just wave a stick at us and we fall down.
That's what happened. I have been wondering all day what that was for.
Well, I mean, yeah, that to mark us as not being terribly good standing for this city and things.
So yes, indeed, you had made your way down to the warehouse district. You broke in, attempting to rescue the angel, and chaos ensued. And
I would like to think that we were entering with force, not breaking in.
We didn't break it. We actually just unlocked it.
that's not what that actually means, right?
No. We're going by the letter of the law.
Unlawful entry.
Yes, well, there was some
There was
unlawful
definitely
entry.
some of that.
Yes. So, of course, at this point, the other two were having a sort of dinner meeting with the professor. Was it? I have that name here. You were having dinner with.
This whole Thorn?
It was a blessedly quiet, uneventful evening.
It was.
Did you forget your NPC?
Oh, yes, Anya Thistlethumb.
Oh, so close.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, yeah.
I have these things.
No, yeah, I believe you.
Nice and quiet. There was no antics at the bar at all.
Right. Everything was quiet. Everything was fine.
See some actual entertainment.
She attempted to cast a spell. It went a little bit chaotic, made some wind go through, and then decided that she was going to... Well, she asked you if she could take the shard with her back to the university to do some study, and then left you there basically to relax for the rest of the evening.
Have a nice, cool evening. Just relaxing and chilling.
Acting all cool.
Yeah. And your evening passes very quietly. You don't, unless you decide you're going to stay up and wait for your comrades, you end up just heading off to bed and...
I went home.
Yeah. Okay. You head home.
I bet
Jaxom.
magic sleep lets us
I
sleep
go up to my room.
well.
Okay.
Do you think it is dreamless, though?
They're grown-ups. They can take care of themselves.
Yeah. We decided it was Wilf's problem if Lindo gets in trouble.
Yeah.
Right. So, of course, the next morning, Elliot, there is a knock at your door. You are basically getting up and taking care of your normal morning necessities when you hear Anavar's voice from downstairs. Elliot,
Yes.
Elliot, come down here, please.
Okay. What's up?
You see standing at the doorway is one of the city guard, standing there holding a scroll. And Holds it out to you.
Okay. I open it up, and what's it say?
Well, it seems that a few of your compatriots who are under your care while they are in the city have been apprehended while illegally trespassing in the warehouse district. And they were there was an attempted robbery that was foiled, except for several extraplanar beings were set free. Some damage was caused, and they are currently being held. And you will need to, of course, make your way down there to see what you can do and answer some questions.
Okay. I will be down as soon as I'm able. I'm going to contact my other companion, and we're going to go down together.
They will, of course, be down there when you get there.
Of course.
The guard, basically accepts the response and leaves. Anavar looks at you, raising an eyebrow. One day. They were here.
That's all it takes.
One day. Take care of them. Pats you on the shoulder, goes back, and makes his way in off into the kitchen.
I walk out the door, and there is a firework about 100 feet up.
Okay.
Calm down.
All right.
Work on ascending and get Jaxom to meet me at the bridge.
Gotcha. Jaxom, of course, you've woken up nice and early for your morning benedictions, and you've gathered yourself some breakfast, and you're sitting down in the common room of the inn, and it just seems very quiet. No one else has come down. You're just relaxing. For the first time in quite a while, everything seems okay. The world seems calm, and there doesn't seem to be anything that would really go wrong with this day. And then suddenly a message pops into your head.
Mr. Jaxom, I need you near the bridge. We have to go to the prison. Wilf needs to die.
Okay. Sounds like evil Elliot to me.
Definitely evil Elliot.
So, of course,
Finish my
Time to take off the arm.
breakfast, go upstairs, get it. All right.
yeah. Take the time to get back into your armor, get all your things together. Okay.
Yep. The way I see it, Elliot only has 3 more chances to not be evil.
Right. Well, he's only got 3 limbs left. Is that what you're saying?
What a strange coincidence.
Depending on what you're considering limbs.
Also fair.
I thought you were a paladin.
Jaxom is.
That's the lawful
Right.
good, everyone.
So you gather your things, you start heading out. You start heading out as well, and the 2 of you head towards the jail. The 2 of you,
Hello.
you wake up and feel everything's fuzzy.
I think my eyes are puffy. My eyes are puffy. I need my cooling pad. Where's my cooling pad?
Headache, and the light is too bright, and you look around and you are in a cell. There's literally no other explanation or description that can be given for this room other than a cell. There is a bed hanging on chains from one wall. There is a small table with a wooden chair next to it, and the other end, where you would normally expect to see a wooden door, sometimes with, say, metal bars in it or a slot, what you see is a semi-translucent wall stretching from ceiling to floor. And it just kind of seems to be wavering slightly. You can see out of it, but everything on the other side of it is out of focus.
Hey, Wilf. Hey, Wilf. Hey, Wilf. Hey, Wilf. Wilf.
Oh, are we in the same cell?
You are not, but you do hear Lindo's voice.
Wolf. Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
Hey, Lindo.
Oh. Hello. Do you know where my cooling pad is?
I think you left it in our in room.
Okay. There is a wall here in front of me, but it does not look like a normal wall.
I think we're in magic prison.
Both of you have been stripped down to basically your whatever you were wearing under your clothes. So
I have a question. Is that a prison that holds things that are magic, or is that a magical prison that holds normal people.
I think it can double as both, but in this case, I would say the latter.
Also, I think I need to do some sit-ups. I can see my abs. They are not tight.
Well, I can't do anything about that for you. Except maybe give you inspiration. Inspiration for your athletics. There you go. You can do it, Lindo.
As
You know, that's fair. I start doing sit-ups.
You actually you start to try to tap into that natural charisma, and you note that the ground around you, a series of runes light up, and you feel your energy just kind of just be sapped out of you momentarily. You feel like you get very tired and woozy for a moment, and kind of have to shake it off.
This place is terrible. Saps the magic.
Good thing I am not magic. 4. 5. I'll just get really buff and bust through the wall.
That's what you do in prison, right? You
6.
just get really buff. Go on. I'll just sit over here.
I almost did 7. I am very impressed with myself.
So sure enough, the two of you spend a few moments chatting and kind of looking around. There is nothing much outside of your cell that you can see or make out clearly. So you have a few moments to explore the several square feet you have.
Is there a window?
I would like
There is
to
not.
throw a little piece of my hair at the wall. The clear wall.
It just hits it and falls to the ground. And when you put your hand near it, it just kind of feels tingly. It doesn't hurt, but it just... You can press your hand against it, and it almost feels like you're pressing it against almost glass. But
Can I stick my whole body on it?
You can.
I stick my whole body on it.
Somehow I knew you were going to do that.
And we find out why Lindo does not, in fact, have underwear lines.
Which is about the time the two of you have made your way to
It is a thorn.
the jail, as it were,
Especially
the holding cells. Elliot, you would know that they are used somewhat commonly. I mean, there's crime in Anra'Lathan like there is in pretty much any other city. But the process is usually fairly quick here due to the fact that divination magic can be used to find the answer to most crimes fairly quickly. And the holding cells are also very specifically designed to make sure that anyone with very powerful magics would not be able to use them.
Makes sense.
So upon arriving there, the guard in charge, who is a dwarf, sitting behind, wearing the same guard attire that you see with everybody else, the kind of the single sword, somewhat curved sword to the side, the banded mail kind of look to their armor, sees you come in, asks for identification. You present it. He nods, goes through some paperwork on the desk, nods and says that, of course, you're here for your compatriots.
Lindo, Espina, and Wilf Tradewind.
Yes. Did you wish to see them?
Yes.
Very well. He gets up and leads you through a set of doors, into a hallway, down a set of stairs, and then into a fairly well-lit hallway. And as you make your way down, past a couple empty cells, you look over and there's Lindo, flat up, kind of one leg up, hands up, just kind of...
And my thumb is out.
Like pressed into the wall of force that separates the two.
In my thumb.
Yeah.
Is there any way that you could keep him?
Oh, guys! Can they hear me? Hello?
You
Hello?
can hear Lindo.
Elliot?
It's a little bit muffled, just like how you were having a little trouble hearing Wilf, but you're able to hear.
It's Jaxom.
It might make things easier on us.
And Elliot? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Lindo.
Oh, okay, sorry, I did not know.
What were you doing last night?
I drank a magical amount of beer,
Okay.
and then we went flying,
Okay.
I think.
I
And
think-
then we ended up in a box.
Mr. Wilf?
Oh, hello there, Elliot. How
And then
are you?
we got in the box
Did
and
you
got
have a lovely morning?
chased
did.
by a giant
But
stone
Good to
dog.
hear. Nice, restful mornings.
Are stone dogs real?
yes, they're weird.
Okay, so a stone dog, and then we let go a bunny who turned into a demon.
Okay.
And then we also let go a little ball who was an angel. And then we went to bed.
First, that wasn't a demon. It was a devil. There's a difference. Yeah.
We have been here
I mean, yeah.
less than 24 hours.
And in that time, we have found an enslaved angel, and we fixed it. You're welcome.
We also got very drunk.
You let
Win-win.
escape an angelic kitty.
That makes it all the more absolutely horrible that someone would put it in a cage. I see absolutely nothing in this argument that you're going to win.
To give
I agree.
to a proper home, to a nice wizard.
Or it could go back to the celestial plane, whence those such aliens
It is
come
a
from.
magical glowing heaven butterfly. It needs to flap its wings and be free.
You know, that's actually very accurate. Scary enough. Have you been reading again?
I just look with my eyes.
Unfortunately, your eyes are
Sparkling?
filled with a lot of alcohol.
Sparkling?
Hey, Mr. Wilf, I have a question
Lassie?
for you.
I might have an answer for you.
How much did that guy offer for you to buy that thing?
Well, you see, I had this trouble where we drank a magical amount of beer. Because
magical
we did
amount.
go looking for beer, because we would not lie to you. We left the inn to go get super drunk.
By the way, we did not find magic beer. We only
We
drank
did
a
not
magical
find
amount
magic
of it.
beer. We failed at that, and we failed you in that. And for that, you have my apology that we could not find any magic beer.
I'm very sorry.
I do not remember what he was wanting to charge for his enslaved angel baby kitten.
It sounds so cute now. I still think it's a heaven butterfly.
Price and rattles it off because
It was
There went down.
multiple thousands, I believe.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like 6,000 for one of them.
Right.
Probably 6,000 for both of them. Okay.
Oh, any petty conjurer could probably summon up an imp. I mean,
Can you summon
they're
up an imp?
imps. That's sort of what they're there for, aren't they?
Okay. How are you going to pay for those two things, Mr. Wilf?
We will not.
The dwarf. So the charges that are arrayed against them are trespassing, damage to property,
Oh, that sounds right, yes.
release of extraplanar creatures
Oh, I
within
did that
city
one.
bounds,
That was me.
as well as non-citizens in unescorted through restricted
Oh,
areas.
that's his fault.
It is not my fault.
I mean, he didn't come with us.
Well,
it's Wolf's fault.
as they are in the city under your protection and advisement, some of the responsibility does lie within you, but as they are their own independent sentient creatures, you are not
Sentient is
legally
debatable.
required to pay anything for them if they are to serve their time.
Okay. And how much time would that
I'd
be?
like to point out that the angel's probably sentient as well.
There is
About you.
a certain amount of public service that will need to be done.
Like picking up trash? Like magic trash?
Something like that.
Does it float?
I really wonder what sort of trash a city full of wizards gathers.
That is what I am thinking. I'm thinking if we gather all the trash, we could resell it on the market.
Just ignore them. Continue.
Of course, if their fines are paid off in full and the damage is covered, then of course we will have to discuss how much their prison sentence will be curtailed by that.
Wait, what?
And how much is that fine?
According to and he starts shuffling through, it says the list with the damages, lost equipment, and time, as well as other fees incurred. They are required to pay a fine of 15,000 gold pieces over the course of their confinement.
I'm sorry, could you please repeat the number?
That would be 15,000 gold pieces.
That is a 1, 5, a comma, and 3 additional zeros.
Yes, the creatures that you had released, as well as the damage caused to the other numerous magical artifacts that were in.
And I just learned how to
particular.
count very well. Could you explain to me if a 1,105 gold will be enough to pay it off?
It
No.
will not.
About some of it? It'd be a good start.
Well,
Like,
so
Like most of it?
No.
So when you were saying the other option is some form of community service.
That will be included in your sentence.
Oh. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I do not have that much money.
Understood. Well, then await your hearing, and we will have that discussion later. The magistrates will need to, of course, go over the particulars of your case and discuss what needs to be done.
Do I, by chance, have the right to any sort of legal representation?
Do I have right to pants?
Yes. The pants can be provided for you. You will be supplied a uniform.
Oh. How fashionable.
Nothing.
As for representation, there will be a representative assigned to your case.
Thank you.
Of course. Shall we then?
Yes.
And he starts leading you away.
I'm not going to lie. I kind of like the dwarf.
See them there.
Well, I mean, he gives it to you pretty straight,
He's very
and I
polite.
appreciate that.
I do too.
So,
We will have to work on self-restraint for the two of you.
I do not know the meaning of the word.
Obviously.
That's why we need to work on it.
I understand the meaning of the word, and I choose to ignore it when divine beings are in fact being sold as a knickknack.
You mean the aliens?
Yeah. Literally, it is an alien.
So Elliot, you at this point have walked away and gone with the dwarf as he makes his way back up into the office area that you'd entered into. Jaxom, do you follow as well?
After trying to admonish them and it just not working, yes.
Okay.
Listening to Jaxom, nodding, licking the wall a little.
I still think it was a good thing we did. We might
Tastes
have
like
done it a
schnozberries.
little bit foolishly there, Lindo.
Did you know this wall tastes like schnozberries?
Does it?
I'm telling you, just put your thumb right
Of course,
against the wall.
Jaxom, as you're leaving, you just see them both licking the wall. Tingles a little.
Oh.
And as the two of
I'm
you...
sure smite wouldn't do anything.
No.
Not to a wall of force.
As the two of you make your way back into the office, though, you see there is another guard, human, who basically took the place of the dwarf when he led you back, having a very energetic conversation with a young halfling woman who you recognize as Anya Thistlethumb. And she is, in a very forced whisper, telling him something very important. And then as soon as the door back to where you were opens, they both stop. And she looks over and sees the two of you. And then kind of, okay.
Greetings, Miss Thistlethumb.
Hello again.
Good morning. Yes.
Sounds like something bad has happened.
Yes, but previously.
Previously.
Yes, that's actually why I'm here. Okay, so I heard about what happened. I understand that several of your friends have found themselves in some legal trouble.
Friends might be a little strong at the moment.
Compatriots,
Okay,
the more wild half of our group.
right. But it may interest you to know that there is something that perhaps can be done about their situation.
What you need?
Okay, so obviously a lot of rumors have been spread about what you've done around Dariel and the Rotting Hills and all the things, and obviously, you know, the law is the law, and we can't just let them go because they've caused damage, they've done things, you know.
I personally wouldn't want that to happen.
Right.
It would set a terrible precedent.
Right. But what we can do is perhaps employ them to take care of a problem that might be in line with their skill set.
Interesting.
Now, of course, this might also involve your skill sets. I understand that you probably come as a package deal.
Usually.
We work better together.
It will make my goals, which my companions have decided to kick in the balls,
Right.
a lot easier to do.
So here is the deal. If you agree for them, of course, because at this point, their choices are basically to stay there or to do this. And of course, we'll give them the option. I mean, it's entirely up to them. But if you agree to do this errand for the university, we will speak with the triumvirate and see what we can do about perhaps making the charges go away.
That would be wonderful.
Okay, good.
What were you looking at for us to do?
Do you agree?
Yes.
Yes.
Good. She looks up at the guard who is standing there now, hands on hips, who just kind of shrugs. Like this sort of thing probably doesn't happen often, but he's totally understanding that this is just, he's been outranked.
While I'm down in the cell, I also try to tap into my healing light just to test things out. We tried my innate awesomeness.
The runes on the floor light up again, and you feel that that energy kind of drains out of you before it ever gets to you.
Huh.
Yep. So the two of you then, Anya says, can we have their belongings? And the guard just nods, makes his way over, and it leaves the room for a moment and says, let's go talk to them, shall we?
Sure.
While their things get arranged.
All right.
Okay.
Mr. Guard, there is a thing in one of the humans' belongings that I would like to have. It's a little box.
He shrugs and nods and leaves the room.
Thank you.
The dwarf is at this point sitting back behind the desk and is scritching along and just raises, looks up at you guys as you walk by, shrugs. And, Anya kind of gives him a smile and a little bit of a nod, and he, nods and waves. And the three of you make your way back down to where the two of them are probably done licking the wall at this point.
Yeah, no. Now I'm testing little bits, seeing if I can make other parts of the floor glow based on what I tried to do.
10.
Lindo, you skipped 7 and 8.
Oh.
And 9.
Oh.
The figures appear outside your cells, and you see Elliot and Jaxom again, and accompanying them is a much shorter individual who you don't recognize immediately, but she speaks up and says,
Hello.
we have a deal.
I do not know what that means, but I am standing in my underwear and you are a lovely lady, so we'll win.
This is one of my professors, Lindo.
Ooh, the teacher sort.
I believe, did we meet the other night? No. You had...
No, they'd already started out.
Like
we were trying a very important scouting mission, trying to see how much beer we could drink.
Yes. I think I saw you leaving the inn when I was on my way in.
Ah.
Yes. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. Your compatriots have already agreed to the terms.
What are the terms?
The terms are you will be doing an errand for the university.
What kind of errand?
For your freedom.
Oh, good. That's exactly what I was really hoping would end up happening.
So, I understand that your repayment amount is substantial. It is not astronomical, but it is, concurrent with your crimes. The errand will, of course, absolve you of that, and we will, of course, overlook the transgressions of what you've done.
We are going to do an errand that is worth the 1, 5, and 3 zeros.
Yes.
Inherently, yes.
Just know that, sometime you guys are behind the times. Eventually, the extraterrestrial abolitionism is going to be all around the world.
Yes, to be honest, point is, listen.
That is a lot.
There is an object that you must return. A particular piece of, how should I say this? A very particular magical object was stolen from the university by a student. It is a book.
Oh, I am learning to read books.
If I can venture a guess, I'm guessing that the student ran away and resorted to hiding in some sort of tower out in the countryside.
She blinks a few times. How could you possibly have known that?
I have a keen intuition, part of my wonderful investigative method. Also,
he is racist against the wizards.
Wizard phobic.
I see.
It's
unfortunate. Well, yes, he has...
Are wizards a race?
No.
I guess you cannot be racist then.
Well,
More classist.
A young half-elven man named Prenistus Drom has stolen a book from our
Nestus.
secured library.
I'm sorry, but that sounds evil.
Well,
It does.
Did he have a goatee?
he's a troubled young man.
Oh, did he have a goatee?
Not that I'm aware of.
Did he have
He
a
probably
mustache?
has one now.
It's entirely possible, I suppose. Anyway, it's been gone for about a week.
Definitely has one now.
We have been unable to track it down outside of a certain distance, but
We're looking for a tiny man with a
there
mustache.
are
Go.
other matters that are being handled that are admittedly more important. This is something that we would require an outside assistance for. Someone who,
A troubleshooter.
yes,
Who is very good at climbing ropes.
yes. I will say that retrieval of this
That's us.
will require those who have abilities outside of purely arcane. So,
Elliot? She is saying many things.
We need your ability to sneak into places, Lindo.
Ah, okay. Yeah, sure.
They need a burglar. Someone who will burgle. Burgle a wizard.
possibly.
Well, I think that
Not sure why
we
you
have
chose
at
two
least
failed burglars of a wizard.
some experience in burgling wizards. We did steal quite a bit of things from what's-his-ass the necromancer.
I wouldn't call it stealing, just reowning.
You ran away with his robe.
We will give you the last known area that he was seen in. And if you would be kind enough to please retrieve the book, then, of course, again, we will call this all good.
Excellent. Or I think that you've come to the right dawn guard.
Very well.
I require my tabard and my red pants.
Preferably more than that, though, please.
Very well. Very well. Then I will make sure you get your gear. And if you, of course, the marks will still stay. We will be able to track your progress at least well enough outside the city that if they're...
I just realized I'm naked. All right.
Mostly.
Aside from my small clothes.
Yes.
And everyone can see me at the moment, or is my blurry?
All your clothes are small. You're somewhat blurry.
Okay. Well, there's lots of blotches on most skin, but you can't actually make them out.
Most people don't see that. So,
You're blotchy?
shortly enough, the guard, the human guard appears at the top of the stairs carrying
You're right, I'm in the
two
other cell.
bundles, brings them down, and makes a motion at the wall near between the two of yours. Wilf, the kind of force wall dissipates and plops down the package basically on the bed there. Lindo, the wall between of yours disappears as well. He puts the package in there,
Oh, thank
nods,
you.
and leaves.
Everyone who
said
now
I
can
wanted
see
the
Wilf
red pants.
notices that
box?
he is completely covered from wrist to ankle with tattoos.
The box.
I do not notice.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. He hands that to you.
Okay.
Okay. What are you looking at?
I'm looking at you, sailor.
It was a family thing.
Oh. Apparently your family was very close because you got some tattoos in some places that are
The married-in family.
unique.
So you gather your things, you put your gear on, get dressed. When you make your way upstairs, Anya is standing at a table on top of a chair, and she sees you come up and waves you over. She weaves her hands, says a few arcane words, and an illusionary bit of terrain appears on the table of Anra'Lathan and some of the outlying area. And
That is neat.
she motions, she kind of makes a few movements with her hands, and you see kind of a line appear that your hand just kind of passes through it as you put it out there. And it kind of winds out into the countryside through kind of a thicket of trees towards a series of hills. And says that over here, this is the last location we were able to track him.
Okay. Well, do we have an actual paper map that we can?
You know, one we can
wander
bring
around
with us. with drawings.
Absolutely. Yes. She
The little doodles in the red dot line.
reaches into one of the pouches, pulls out some paper, puts it back, reaches into a different pouch, fuddles around for a
Read the
moment,
red
pulls
dots.
out. Then she opens it up and hands it to you. And it's a somewhat detailed scale map of the area.
I take a little bit of ink and a pen, just make a little circle around the hills area.
Okay.
And then I use minor illusion to create a tiny little Godzilla going into the tiny little city there.
Okay.
Oh, I like that. I like that very much.
A little. All right.
And this is why we can't have nice things.
Yeah.
Oh no! There goes Anra'Lathan.
Oh, no, that did not
You almost
work.
had it.
Go Godzilla!
Oh, you got the last part.
Right
Okay, so we have a map, and it goes to a place that has a book with a man with a mustache who is tiny.
Well, he's a half elf, so he's at least taller than me.
Oh, a taller man with a mustache.
Yeah.
then. All right, then.
We take the book. Does he need to get a drubbing, or
We take the map.
do you just want the
We
book?
don't have the book yet.
If you can return him, that would be preferable, although he
In what condition?
alive, if he is alive. Otherwise, bring the book back. It is our primary concern.
So a sound drubbing.
A few words of warning. You may require a cart.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
You may require a cart
For the half elf?
for the book.
How big a book are we talking?
And she reaches in and pulls out from one of her pouches a key about almost half the size of her. And she kind of holds it out.
You can pick that up, Jaxom.
Yeah, it's your job.
You grab it. It's almost 20 pounds. And seems to be like cold wrought iron.
That is the size of a
is that
toddler.
to beat the evildoer with, or
That is in case he's opened the book.
To relock it.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Could you remind me
Okay.
how big the book is again?
She hasn't told us how big the book is yet.
Oh, okay, because
Well-
the key is giant, and
Yes.
we need a cart for the book.
Yes.
And yeah, I am curious.
Well, it sort of depends on whether the book has been opened. If the book has been opened, well, the last I saw it, she puts her hand up and keeps going until she's holding it about almost 5 feet off the ground. It's about that tall, about 1.5 to 2 feet thick. And she kind of stretches her arms out. It's large.
that sounds
I
quite.
see.
It belonged to a storm giant. It is a tome known as the Abnormicus,
Makes sense.
and it is something we
Abnormicus.
desperately need to stay out of the hands of those who may use it for ill will.
Like a half elf with a mustache.
Yes.
Okay. Whew.
Well, that does sound like it is something that we generally just don't want running around the countryside either. So, well, we've already agreed, so it's not like we can back out, because otherwise it's just back into the prison cell.
I do not have money for a cart. Do you have a cart?
We can get a cart.
Yeah.
I thought we rode in a cart. Wait,
We
no,
did not
had to
rode
ditch
in a
the
cart.
Oh, we have to ditch
You
the
ditched
cart.
the cart.
We
Yeah.
ditched the cart. All right.
We got to
Ditched
get
it
a
back
new
in
cart. And then we had to
Hall.
get horses to draw the cart. Do you have horses here? Are they magical horses?
We can get all of that on our own.
Yes, we can.
Thank you.
Very well. Then I wish you all the best of luck. Please, anything you can do to get it done as quickly as possible would only perhaps forestall any issues that may occur with the book being used. So
What kind of spells does it have?
she
Hopefully
get
we won't
a
have
very
to
worried
deal
look on
with
her
that.
face.
Lindo,
Don't
it's
worry
got
about it.
big ones.
Yeah.
Lindo cannot cast magic.
I cannot
Understood.
cast magic.
Then there is no concern, but do please take care.
Well, Lindo, I've got actually a scroll that you could use.
I do not know what that means.
And as you guys gather your things, you make your way down. You're able to acquire a cart. relatively inexpensive, or at this point you probably just borrow one that your father's own.
Yep.
And as you are leaving the city of Anra'Lathan out into the wilderness, that is where this episode comes to a close. If you are joining us for the RSS, we will see you next time on next episode. If you are joining us on the live stream, we will be back after our intermission. So thank you for joining us for another episode of Hazardous Endeavors. And until then,
Game on, Internets!